Greetings and bienvenue, Midnight Crew. Thank you for returning to this broadcast. And welcome to new viewers joining us for the first time. If you like a video, then feel free to subscribe.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Tell me some spoopy stories, /x/. Some shit that keeps me awake tonight.
I've only had one nope moment. Be late fall. Just starting to get frost on the ground. Family is on a camping trip. Have to stay home because wrestling practice twice a day, 6 days a week. Morning practice is done. At home taking a real shower. School showers were always freezing, so I would just knock the sweat off, then go home and take a good one. Get done. Go to the room to get dressed. Notice a black mass outside by the gas tank. Ignore it because we raise cattle and it is probably a cow. Realize the gas tank is not in the pasture. Wait, the cows are out. Look out the window. Definitely not a cow. Kinda looks like that picture of a shaved bear, but the body is wrong. If I had to guess, I would put it around 1,300 pounds. Body similar to a hog, long and low, patches of fur here and there, super long, thick tail, a good 2 or 3 foot long, definitely too big for a hog. What the fuck? Better shoot whatever it is. Grab my rifle. Give it 2 rounds of .22-250 right into the heart girth. Thing lets out a super high-pitched scream, similar to a rabbit in distress. Jumps the fence and clears the pasture to the woods, roughly 150 yards in what seems like an instant. I'm not so much spooked, but definitely off. Clearly the thing to do is to chase this large, unknown wounded creature. I reload the rifle and sprint to the woods after the thing. Stock naked with rifle in hand, I get to the woods. Blood trail is pretty easy to follow. It goes deeper into the woods. I am following it, rifle at low ready. I get about 300 yards in and hear rabbit-like screaming again. I am full spooked now. I start firing into the direction of the sound as fast as I can work the bolt. 5 shots later I am empty, but the screaming is getting louder. I realize how fucked I am and catch the nearest deer trail out of there. My ears are ringing from shooting, but the screaming has stopped. I have not stopped running though. Full sprint until I collapse in a cornfield 4 miles from home. I black out, naked, covered in blood from running through various thorn bushes on my way out of the woods. I wake up to a neighbor lady, Katie, shaking me. She heard shooting and saw me sprinting naked through the field in 45-degree Fahrenheit weather and was worried. I am still not 100% in the head. I try explaining but just end up blubbering about the pig lizard. Katie gets me stood up and put on a 4-wheeler. She drives me back to her place. She puts me in the shower and gives me a set of her husband's, John, clothes. Head's clearing with the shower. Get out of the shower and get dressed. Katie, John, and Shane, cop/wrestling coach/football coach/lifting coach, sitting outside waiting for me. All seem concerned. Coach wants to go over what happened, explain everything. Coach asks if I have been on any drugs. No, I'm stone cold sober. Can tell they don't believe me. Coach asks John and Katie to keep my rifle until parents get home. They do. Coach drives me home. Put on clothes that fit. Take Coach to gas tank. Show him blood trail. We follow it all through the woods. Never find a carcass. The coach concludes I shot a hog. 100% was not a hog. We do not even have wild hogs up here. It is way too cold. Got picked for a random drug test at school on Tuesday. Passed just fine because I do not do drugs. I have spent literal months searching over that woods in the years that followed, and I have never found a trace of that thing. But it was real as you or I and the coach saw the blood trail to prove it.
Be 17. Go to the gym early in the morning before school. Usually walk back from the gym, since it is only a 3-minute walk from house. Around 7 a.m., finish my workout and headed home. See old man walking opposite my direction. Cross paths, say a silent morning while passing. Get home, shower, go to school, etc. See this man for 3 months straight, every morning at 7 a.m. His clothes were always the same. One morning in the cold of winter, I'm running back home when I see him again. He is on the ground, frozen solid. Run over and check on him. He is non-responsive, completely rigor mortis. Don't have a phone, so decide to just pick up his body and take it to the gym, then call 911. Turn my eye to drop my bag and begin to pick up his body. All of a sudden, he is gone, not a single trace of him. Get really freaked out, just run home. Take the longest hot shower I have ever had and felt cold the entire time. Go on about my day. Can barely listen in class. At night I go online and research. Find a news story about the old man, his picture and everything. My heart sunk to my stomach. He had died on that day 4 years ago. Wandered outside his house due to Alzheimer's, went missing, and was later found 2 miles away from his house, around near the gym. I've never felt so sick in my entire life. I couldn't eat or shit for days. Eventually, I found solace knowing the old man actually had a good life until he froze to death in winter.
Be 8 or 9 years old, living with my mom and grandparents in an old 70s house. Tired of sleeping by myself upstairs, so I sneak down to rest with Mom. Her room is full of portraits, mirrors, and old dolls, one mirror above the headboard of the bed. She greets me, then goes to sleep. As I am about to drift off, I see a dark figure slip out of a mirror. It gently plops to the floor and slowly crawls towards me. I am frozen in fear as I watch it come closer, trying to see if it was my imagination or not. It reaches out and I nope the lamp on while shouting. It is gone. Mom is concerned and I explain. We both went back to sleep. I never went in that room again during the night. That hallway downstairs is creepy. Later found out Mom was into the paranormal. Moved to my grandparents' house for college, 20 years old now. Go downstairs to run an errand and grab a quick snack from the pantry. As I get on the first step, a door closes behind me. Fucking nope. Run upstairs. Study in the library downstairs to focus. I can see hallways and bedroom from the corner of my eye. 2 a.m., feel like I am being watched. Can make out a white hand on the bathroom doorway, as if something was peeking out, observing. Glance over, and it is gone. Of course it would be. Move my studies upstairs to avoid any further interruptions. A couple nights ago, I take a break to play some vidya after working. Around 2 a.m., there was a loud crash from downstairs. Could feel it through the floorboards. Grandparents across from my bedroom upstairs. They did not even hear it. Close and lock the bedroom door. Go to sleep. This fucking house, man. Not sure what happened here, but there is a temperamental witch who doesn't know how to be a decent mortal realm dweller.
Abandoned pub where my mates and I used to go for a laugh. The back door is kicked in, so easy access. The main area is where most people sit. Me and 2 others went exploring the place. Down the hall, leading to the back, has toilets off to the side. The women's toilets are wrecked as expected. Mirror smashed, stalls have holes in them. The men's toilets, eerily clean for a place that has been abandoned for 10 years or more. The most disturbing part is the mirror, which is not smashed or cracked in any way. The three of us feel uncomfortable, and as if we should not even be looking at it. We quick step back to the main area and join the rest of the group again. I still have no idea why that mirror creeped us three out. The back door to the place has since been blocked with wood, but I am definitely going back and taking pictures next time I have the chance.
Got pretty spooked tonight, but I don't think it was anything supernatural the more I think on it. B tonight. An hour ago. On the river fishing, because I had just an ounce of light left, and being a college student I do not get to go out all that often. It is darker than I should have let it get, but fish were biting and you never know how dark it is when you are on the water. Hear a huge splash about 20 foot in front of me, supposedly musky in this river. Cast a spoon out and start bringing it in. Big splash on shore, raccoon swimming across. Hook into something big, like really big, peeling drag. Not fighting at all, just constantly pulling. Get concerned because I cannot get this fucking thing in, and I do not have a knife to cut the line. Only option here is to swim out and unhook it or risk losing my $200 pole. Tie off line to a tree. Strip down to my underwear. Hop in. Try to stay in shallow water close to shore, pulling the line into me. Suddenly, line goes taut, and I go in farther than I wanted to. I am wet already. I follow the line out. Get to the end, and whatever was on, let's go. Start half walking, half swimming back to shore. Laugh out loud, no more sandbar. Plunge into water far deeper than I am tall. Start swimming up as fast as I can. Something is holding my leg and I cannot move up. Was in open water, not stuck in muddy bottom. Panicking good now. Kick like a madman. Get free. Get to shore. Getting dressed. Big splashes all around me. Hike back through the woods to car suddenly ice cold. Can hear something behind me. 90 miles per hour all the way home. What happened best I can figure is, dumbass kid snags and dislodges a log from the bottom of the river. River starts dragging the log. Dumbass kid decides to go into a large river at night. Dumbass kid walks off a sandbar and gets caught in the current. Adrenaline-fueled brain sees everything as a threat. Thought for sure something was trying to kill me out there. But in hindsight, only I was trying to kill me out there.
B. I do not know 15. At friend's house watching Battle Royale in the living room. Living room is connected to long hallway leading to friend's room. House always feels creepy, like someone is watching. Everyone always feels that way. Whatever. Just watching movie. See something strange in the movie. A man's face is peering from behind the corner of a hallway. Head and hand are pure white. The eyes, nose, and mouth are blurred out, like pencil smudges. No detail. Man slowly goes back behind the corner. Think. That is weird. Kinda random for this kind of movie. My slow brain suddenly started working. The man's face was not from the movie. I was looking at my friend's hallway. I don't know why it took me so long to understand what I had seen. Shock, maybe? I told my friends about it, and they weren't surprised. One of the bigger guys stomped down the hallway to kind of check it out and scare it away and didn't see anything. Then they started telling me how they would have vivid dreams about an old man and a little girl dressed in very old clothing. I don't know if that had anything to do with what I saw, however.
B9. Over at my best friend's house, sleeping on top of the bunk bed, window above to look out at stars, be almost asleep. See an odd shadow walk past the doorway, freak out. Hide under covers for 20 minutes. Poke head out 'cause it was hot as hell. Look up at the window, see something odd. Focus harder, see horrifying face with blood-red eyes. Face starts screaming and pounding on the window. Scream with ear-shattering proportions while pissing pants. His parents come in, face is gone. Nope. Find out years later the guy off himself in that room. Nope. Bumping with more. Me and my best friend are like brothers, even did the blood brothers pact. Look out for each other like bros should. One night, watching movies in his basement, 15 at the time. Already have a fair share of paranormal experiences. Out of the corner of my eye, keep seeing white blur float by. Ignore it. Keeps happening. Look over at my bro who had just gasped. His face is sickly white, staring at something behind me. Turn around. See a woman in a white dress staring at us from a distance. Nope the hell out of there because she has no eyes. More crap happened that night, even more screwed up. Shall I go on? Bumping with more to kindle the fire. Same night as the no-eyed lady incident. Man the hell up to get a drink with my bro. Everything to drink is in the garage. Walking through the hallway to get to the shortcut to the garage. Me and my bro are still really spooked, trying to keep it together. Start hearing whispers in the hallway. My bro does too. Fight or flight, both choose to fight. Turn the corner, see a black-eyed lady literally inches from my face. She suddenly starts screaming. I can smell the fires of hell coming from her mouth. Lol. Nope, flight it is. Turn around and board up the door to my friend's door with furniture. Stake it out until the sun comes up. I could hear crying coming from the hall all night long. Nope.
This actually just happened about an hour ago. Might not sound like much, but it spooked the shit out of me. Lying in bed on my laptop around midnight. I hear something from outside my headphones. Assume it is my flatmate in the next room snoring. Continue listening to my music, but it gets louder. Take headphones off. It's our dog growling. Maybe someone is snooping around our house. Grab my knife and check around. The dog is at the front door with his hackles raised, still growling. Almost bites me when I pat him. Starting to get pretty spooked now. He has never been like this in the 14 years I've had him. Open the door and he runs outside, barking. Usually has quite high-pitched barks, but now they are deep. Check around the property. The only place left is the garage and attached basement. Go into the garage and switch on the light. Hear a massive crash from the basement, like everything inside was suddenly thrown around. Burst in and switch on the light. Everything is exactly how it should be. Never made a Greentext before, so it might be shit. I'm cozied up in bed now with just about anything I can use as a weapon around me.
Be 3 years ago, Christmas Eve. Spending the evening with my side of the family with my husband. At grandparents', my childhood home, never liked the place. They're out of obligation. These people are not good people. Same passive-aggressive or slightly unnerving plastic behaviour all night. Grandmother wants us to go upstairs to see the rooms, which have not changed since I lived there. People finally start going home. Grandmother is still pestering us to go check out the upstairs. Everyone is gone now except for my mother, grandparents, my husband and I. Grandmother really wants us to head upstairs. Husband and I check out the upstairs alone. Everyone else stays downstairs. Chatting as we go from room to room. Nothing changed much in any of them. Get to grandfather's upstairs office. Overwhelming smell of decay. Not like grocery meat, but the distinct smell of a whole animal or body. Meat, innards, bowels, etc. Nothing small, something at least medium goat-sized, judging from experience via friends into taxidermy. We continue conversation normally to not make a scene while we carefully look around. Nothing. Load in nope.exe. We head downstairs after our 2-minute tour, keeping casual as though nothing is wrong, still chatting. But I'm intent upon bringing up the smell. We immediately found all 3 of them, Mum and grandparents, standing very quiet and very still, staring up the staircase. Remembering the look in their eyes, it almost looked as though they were trying to read us for something. Looked pretty malicious. Recall how bad grandmother wanted us to go upstairs. All 3 go into immediate plastic mode, like nothing happened. Noped straight out of there. Never bring up the smell. Ended up being the last straw situation that finally drove me to cut off contact with them. Have not spoken to them since.
Be me. Around 16 or 17. School forced everyone to go to a camp every year. This is in northern Mexico, so very few areas to camp that are not desert. We go to this one place in Ensenada. You might find it without much effort. Pretty common place to just hike. Not many people camp there, though. People are living near the entrance. It is technically a natural reserve. The entrance has a bunch of houses with people who take care of the area. Teacher organizing the camping trip makes us hike about 1 kilometer or 2 to find a dry waterfall. On the way, notice one single house near some rocks, almost at the agreed meeting spot. Camp continues, without anything really happening. One activity involved finding flags scattered across the hiking trail on our way back. Me and a couple of friends decide to check out the abandoned house. Just a small concrete building with 3 rooms in it, no windows or doors. Think nothing of it. Fast forward to that night. Teacher told us he would hide, and we would have to look for him. This is really far away from civilization, and it is almost pitch black outside. Only light is from the stars. Not allowed a flashlight during this activity, so we have to rely on sound and anything darker than the background. Me and my friends go to the dry waterfall area. We find nothing and head back. I fell a little bit behind because of the rocky terrain. I look over to the abandoned house. I see a woman with extremely messy hair, very visible despite it being pitch black. My friend came back for me and scares the fuck out of me. I tell him what I saw and we both look back. No one there. We head back to camp and forget about it. Nothing there the day after. I swear it wasn't any kind of homeless person or junkie. There weren't any traces of people being there, and we heard no footsteps on our way back.
My grandmother was the source of some interesting occurrences. I miss her every day, but knowing her and her family, I'm sure she's around. I spent weekends at my grandparents' house for most of my youth. I am 8 years old at the time of this story, summer of 1994. I have 2 brothers, one a year older, one 2 years younger. The basement had a finished room that had been my great-grandfather's office, my grandmother's father. I always slept in the basement office, which had a bed. My brothers were afraid of the basement room after dark, but that was where Granny kept her Super NES that she let us play when we were over, so we hung out there a lot. My brothers always slept upstairs in the guest bedroom. There is a chair that my brothers hate to sit in because it had belonged to Great-Grandpa Bill.
The chair is 5 feet from the bed and is a big leather lounger with an ottoman. I smell smoke while trying to sleep. I turn on the bedside lamp and my great-grandfather, who died a month before I was born, is sitting in the chair smoking a cigar. I know what he looked like as there are pictures all over the house, which he had built in the 1930s. Being 8, I scream at the top of my lungs. Great-Grandpa Bill smiles and kind of just fades away as stomping footsteps come down the stairs. My granny, in her nightie and looking angry, demands to know why I am making such a racket. I point at the chair and tell her what I saw. "Yeah, my dad likes to watch over you. He only got to meet your older brother. He tried to hang on long enough to see you into the world and he could not make it, so he hangs around. Go to sleep." I was too afraid to sleep downstairs for a few years, until I realized that it was actually very comforting having him watching over me. I slept down there every time I visited until my grandparents died in 2013 and my mother sold the house. Fun fact about that story and my granny: the Super NES was hers and she was always playing it because she never missed a Mario game or a Nintendo console. I had the coolest childhood, playing Pokemon with my granny on the bus and reading Nintendo Power with her in the basement while we played Super Mario. She had a Polaroid and took pictures of me and my brothers next to the congratulations screen every time we beat a video game. And if I can find some of them, the pictures are both adorable and very telling. The TV sat on the wall-mounted desk that had been her father's desk for work, and he made some surprise cameos in the mirrored wall behind it. Another fun granny tale. 3 years after the "My Dad Watches Over You" story. Summer of 1997, 11 years old. I have been sleeping upstairs for 3 years. There is a piano in the dining room that belonged to Granny's mother. I have been hearing this odd, faint piano melody for years at this point, late at night after everyone is asleep. It is always the same song, and not one I recognize from elsewhere. I get brave one night and go to the dining room to see what is going on. The piano is playing itself with the lid open and the bench slightly pushed out as if being sat on. It is not a self-playing piano. As is often my very masculine response to things, I scream. The playing stops, and a breeze whips through the house. Granny comes out in her trademark pink nightie, curlers in her hair, anger on her face. "Do you not like music? Mom likes to play me off to sleep every night. Go back to bed." I'm still scared. She sighs and lets me sleep with her and my grandpa that night. The next morning, Granny explains to me why I should not be afraid, and that ghosts are not all bad or evil spirits or demons. I never was afraid of those two again after that. I went back to sleeping in the basement and everything. I saw both of her parents many times over the years, and it was always pleasant.
Be hanging out with my cousin all day. It gets late, so I decide to drive him home. Get there around 10:30 p.m. and do not want to make the drive back home, since I have to get up early for work. I ask my aunt if I can stay the night, and she says yes. She tells me I can sleep in the spare room, which is right in front of the kitchen. Didn't mention, but she's a single mom and lives on the second floor of an apartment complex. When you walk in the front door, you have to walk up some stair that will lead you to 2 doors. One to the kitchen and the other to the living room and bedrooms. The room at the end of the kitchen was a storage room with large doors that had small glass windows so you could see inside. They made it into a bedroom, which is where I fell asleep. I jumped into bed and fell asleep really quick. Do not remember what I was dreaming, but I suddenly heard a lovely voice that said, "Get up, it is coming." As soon as it said that, I stopped dreaming and sat up on the bed, which allowed me to see into the kitchen and towards the stairs. But what I noticed was that my physical body was still laying on the bed. I thought, whatever. I was more curious as to what was coming. Then I turned to the kitchen, and all my focus shot towards the stairs, which were pitch black. Immediately, I saw a hand shoot up and then slam on the floor, followed by a second one. Insert whatthefuck.jpg. Then I saw it. The hands pulled up ahead with black long hair that covered its face. Slowly, it pulled itself onto the floor, and I saw it was a woman with a white robe dragging itself. As it did, I saw her back and then her waist. All the time she dragged her face on the ground. After she dragged herself into the kitchen, which had the light on, I saw that the rest of her body was a snake. I saw her slither through the kitchen floor and right up to the glass doors that lead to where I was. I do not know why, but I said, "If she comes, she comes," and I proceeded to lay back down into my body. When I finally entered myself, I immediately woke up in the same position I had laid down, which was facing the wall. I opened my eyes and remembered what I had just saw and was about to sit back up when I felt something jump on the bed and wrap itself around my body. I could not believe what was going on. I tried to move, but whatever it was just got tighter and tighter. It got to the point to where I was not able to breathe and started to freak out. But then I remembered the voice. It warned me that it was coming, so I figured it must have been the big guy upstairs. I thought he is here, and he is going to help me get rid of this thing. I started to pray and to ask him to give me the strength to fight whatever had jumped on me. Claiming the blood of Christ over me and yelling as loud as I could in my mind, I told this thing it was powerless against me, that I had the power of God on my side, and that I was going to defeat it right there and then. After that, I felt it loosening up and allowing me to move and speak again. When I finally yelled out, "In the name of Christ, I rebuke you from this house," did I feel it loosen up and jump off me. Immediately, I felt this warm, oil-like feeling get poured over my whole body that made me feel at peace and fall back to sleep. After that, I got up and went to work, wondering if everything that I had just experienced was real or had just been a dream. I didn't tell anyone because I didn't want to sound crazy and just ignored it. Went back to my usual day and forgot about it. Not till a week later, when my aunt came over to visit my mom, did I finally realize it was real. I come home from work one day and I find my aunt, the same one that let me stay over, talking to my mom. I say hi and walk into my room and turn on my PC, getting it ready to browse the web, when my aunt knocks on the door and asks if we can talk. Of course I say yes, and she starts to look a bit white, so I ask her what is wrong. She tells me that just the other day, her daughter came over to visit from college and spent the night. My aunt tells me they both slept in her room because she had missed her and wanted to cuddle. As she did that with my cousin, she heard her room door open. She figured, it is one of the boys, and he wants to sleep with us too. So she turned to look which of the two it was, but before she could, she said she felt something jump on the bed and wrap itself around her body. When she said this, I turned white myself and asked her what she did. She said she did not know what to do. She was wide awake and could not move, so she tried to scream so her daughter could wake up, but was unable to. After a while of struggling, she felt something snap right behind her neck, and she was able to move again. I couldn't believe what she had just told me. I told her what I had seen and felt a week earlier, and she freaked out. She went home and had her apartment blessed by a pastor, and when I asked if she had felt anything after that, she said no, that everything felt like it was back to normal.
All right, former coroner transport here. Oh Lord, here we go. 3 in the morning. Phone call to come get a body. Grab stiff up, nothing odd. Get to office and wait for partner to turn off security stuff. Left outside, feel intense need to run, get away, flee, etc. Darkness just got darker, yo. Forget that. Go inside the office. Screw the alarm. Partner is stone cold, standing there, frozen in fear. The freezer door is not locked. Being logical, say, hey, someone forgot to shut and lock it. Start to approach the door, beating noise on the other side of the door. Screw that, call the police. Beating noise stops after we get off the phone with the dispatcher. Cops show up and walk in. Help, I am cold! Comes from the other side of the door. Cop rushes over and pulls it open. No one in there. Just another day on the job.
I hope that you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. If you enjoyed tonight's story, then please subscribe to the channel as more Greentext will appear daily. A new broadcast will appear when the clock strikes midnight Central Time.